This week's episode of the 262 Fishing Friday Forum is for those of you that might be in the market to buy a new auger for ice fishing. We're going to break down the three main kinds into three main categories so you can figure out which one is best for you. Alright, so I realize by the time this video is coming out, the weather's actually shifting away from ice season and into open water. Temperatures are warming up, ice is melting out there. But make sure you're subscribed to 262 Fishing because my next video will be from back when the wind chills were well below zero. A nice little reminder of what winter in Wisconsin is like. But I wanted to do at least one more Friday forum that's ice fishing related since we still have snow, we still have ice. And so this week we're talking about the three main kinds of ice augers. We're talking about gas powered, electric powered, and man powered. And I'm going to break it down into three main categories: the cost, the efficiency, and the overall weight. And so this hopefully will be a guide for some of you that maybe are looking to buy a new auger or looking to buy a second auger or an upgrade for their auger. It's a very basic breakdown. I'm not going to be getting into the nitty-gritty details of everything, but just sort of a starting point so you know where to look. All right, so let's start with the hand auger, and this is just your basic, you're cranking it around and putting manual effort into drilling the hole in the ice. And we'll start with the biggest pro for this one. I'll do a pro and con breakdown for each one. And the biggest pro for this one, compared to the others especially, is going to be its price. While the other ones you might be investing a couple $100, the hand auger, you're looking at less than $100 for the entire setup. You can usually find a brand new one in the box at your local big box store, less than $100, probably closer to even $80. You can find them for even $20 or $30 on like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace used, and then all you got to do is make sure the blades are sharpened, and you're good to go. You're in, and you've got an auger for less than $50, $20 or $30, and you're good to go. Another huge pro with this one is it's incredibly lightweight. It only weighs a couple pounds. It's much lighter than the other options. If you don't have a big sled to carry things around, or even if you do but you don't want to add a ton of weight, these are incredibly lightweight because it's basically just the auger itself and the I guess offset, I was going to say curved, but whatever you call that offset shaft where you actually do the cranking. That's all very lightweight and durable material. It's not going to add much weight at all. The only downside and con for the hand crank kind of auger is its efficiency. It takes a lot of effort, especially once you get into the deep of winter where you're over a foot of ice, to really crank that thing. Especially by that time of the year, you're probably getting into duller blades because you've been using it. And again, with the thick ice, it gets exhausting. Now, this is something that I did for years, and by the end of winter I found myself giving up after only maybe 4 or 5 holes, because that combination of the dull blade from using it all year and just trying to go through the thick ice, sometimes even 16 inches thick, I would just get exhausted and I wouldn't have any energy left. Even if I would go do a hole this way and then switch hands and do a hole this way, it was a great tricep workout for sure, but after a while you just don't have any energy left. Now, that being said, having an extra set of blades and maybe getting your blades sharpened is definitely an advantage for this, but I'm still throwing this as a con and a downfall to the manual crank side. Next, let's get into the electric powered augers, and there's two different schools of thought or two different variations of that. The first is where everything is built into the auger. It's a direct connection from the battery pack to the main power head to the shaft and down into the auger. And the second kind is using some sort of adapter for an electric or battery powered drill. I should specify electric. I'm referring to battery powered. You're not going to be hauling extension cords. Maybe you will if you just fish the same place right out of your backyard and you walk out to the lake. Maybe you're lucky enough you can just use some extension cords and an actual plug-in electric drill. But I'm talking about a battery powered drill. Now, the biggest pro to this is it's incredibly efficient. You can drill a lot of holes and you can drill them fast. as long as you have the right type of drill. And I'm focusing on the drill kind because that's what I have experience with, using a few other people's drills. I don't have experience with the power head right into the auger itself, but I imagine it's fairly similar. But these things are incredibly efficient, incredibly powerful if you have the right kind of drill. I actually went out and bought a drill adapter plate, and it turns out my drill, number one, wasn't powerful enough, and number two, didn't even have a chuck big enough to go onto the drill plate. So that leads me into the cons. The drill plate itself is super cheap. It's like 70 or 80 bucks brand new, but you have to have a drill that's going to work. Now, if you have a drill that works, and that's something that's going to be with a lot of torque and a chuck that's at least a 1/4 inch, then you're good to go for about the same price as the hand auger. Now, the catch here is if you don't have a drill, or if you want to have a drill dedicated specifically to your auger, you're looking at a good $200-300 just to get that drill. Now, I don't know all the super crazy specifics about what you need for torque and power for the drill. If you know those details, comment in the comment section down below so that other people can get more details in case that's something they're interested in. I do know that you need to have the right kind of drill, and that's a lot more expensive, and so that puts the price into the cons. All right, so what about weight? Well, it's going to be heavier, of course, than the hand auger because you've got the power unit, if you've got that, you know, the all-in-one, I'll call it, unit. But that being said, having a drill and a plate really only adds a couple more pounds, not that much more. They're extremely lightweight for the efficiency that you get. I'm going to be putting weight in the pro section for the drill adapter, and again, I've never actually dealt with the all-in-one version, but I'm going to assume that those are fairly lightweight as well. Obviously heavier than the hand auger, but I'm sure much lighter than a gas auger, so I'll be putting weight in the pro section as well. All right, and the third category is gas powered, and I think there's like propane powered and stuff like that. And you guys have probably seen in my last few videos, this is what I bought recently, and I'll get into that in a minute. But first, the pros of that is it's incredibly strong, it's incredibly durable, and man, that thing has some torque, let me tell you. Especially some of these newer ones. I have an older one, but there's not a single sheet of ice, no matter how thick, that I have any concern about getting through. These things are workhorses. They are absolute champs. Efficiency 100% goes in the pro column. Now, the other side of that is the weight of it, and these things get incredibly heavy, so the weight is in the con section. My gear overall probably weighs combined about the same as just my gas auger itself. So my auger doubles my weight. I have a big enough sled that I can pull it on, but if I'm trying to get over a snowbank or something like that, it takes a lot of effort. Sometimes I need help to do it, but the weight, it's super heavy, and it's a different kind of effort when you're drilling these holes. When you're doing the hand auger, that will make your arms just absolutely exhausted. My arms do get tired just from carrying the gas auger around, but I know that once I get to the spot I want to drill, none of that's going to matter anymore because I can let the auger do all the work. And the nice thing is, because it's heavy, you really don't have to push down on it at all too. You just let the weight of it do all the work for you. So you can pretty much just relax while you drill your hole. All right, and cost for these is kind of in the middle, kind of like how the electric auger cost was. You don't need any extra tools or anything like that, so it's either the biggest difference in price is whether you buy a new one or a used one. And the new one, again, you're going to be running probably about $300 or so. And a used one, if you can find one, you got to be careful with these small 2-stroke engines when you find them on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something like that. But my used one was $100. Not a bad deal at all for what I'm getting for it. And again, you can find good used ones out there for cheap, actually not that much more than a hand auger itself if you know what you're looking for, or you just happen to find one that is in good shape. So I'm going to go ahead, because my situation, I found a good used one. I'm going to put the price in a pro column as well. If you're looking for a brand new one, then that would probably be a con for you, is the higher price. If you have a preference for augers or why you choose what you choose, or if I'm sure some of my subscribers have all of the different kinds of augers, comment down below. Let me know what you use, what you like about it, and what we should consider in addition to just these 3 basic items when buying a new auger. So why did I get a gas auger? Well, for me, price was number one. Like I said, I bought an adapter for my drill because that was a fairly cheap way to get a more efficient drill. And of course, my drill didn't work for it. So rather than buying an expensive drill, I'm biting the bullet, spending a little bit more, got the gas auger going. I don't know if I'm going to turn around and sell that adapter. Maybe next winter if I can get a certain subscriber number. We'll see. Maybe I'll give it away. Who knows? So subscribe, stay tuned. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a drill plate adapter giveaway probably next winter, because truthfully, the temperatures are warming up. I'm getting ready to get my boat back. The rivers are all wide open. Some of the lakes are probably going to be open soon in the next couple of weeks. But don't forget, next fishing video on 262 Tuesdays, which I think will be in, well, 10 days from now. I'm doing videos every 10 days now. Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I'll be having a video. It'll probably be my last ice fishing video of the year, and it was in like 15 to 20 below wind chill. And it was a cool experience because it's somebody who had never been ice fishing before. So make sure you subscribe to see that video as well. Of course, I am still on my journey to catch a fish here in Waukesha County in every single lake here in the county. So make sure you're subscribed for those videos as well. And as always, folks, remember, it doesn't matter if you go around the world or go around the corner, just as long as you go fishing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the ice.